Welcome, kayak anglers. You are tuning into the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network, kayak fishing's best network of shows with great hosts covering all things kayak fishing, bringing you special guests covering topics such as shore fishing, river trips, gear reviews, angler profiles, tournament news, and more. Sit back, relax. Let's do this.
Chasing the 20-incher Susquehanna River podcast is brought to you by these great companies. Railblazer, think outside the tackle box. Kayak Cushion, for them long days on the water. Achigan brand, the official brand of smallmouth bass. Blue Mountain Outfitters, Susquehanna's local kayak shop. Ken's Jigs, need a custom jig? Don't look any further. Nico Fishing Baits, next generation of soft plastics. And Undercover Baits, get hooked on Undercover Baits. Thanks for watching and welcome to the show.
That's a 20. That is a 20.
That doesn't get old, does it?
Never. Welcome everyone to Chasing the 20-inchers, the Susquehanna River podcast. We want to thank all of our sponsors for the show. Railblazer, Achigan brand, the official brand of smallmouth bass. Kayak Cushion, for them long days on the water. Get yourself a kayak cushion. Undercover Baits, Ken's Jigs, and Nico Fishing Baits, and Blue Mountain Outfitters. Gotta remember Blue Mountain Outfitters. So yeah, welcome everyone. Michael Bradley, I seen he was already in the messages there.
Today's the last day of the season on the Hudson. That's a sad thing, I guess.
Yeah. Michael Bradley never misses a podcast. I watch a lot of fishing podcasts, and he's always on every one that I watch.
Dude, well,
So
we appreciate you watching with us.
Yeah, for sure. So Sean, how you
Yes,
feeling,
sir.
man? I know you just had a surgery a couple weeks ago, and you're back. How's it going? How you feeling?
For being 2 weeks out, I think I'm doing okay. I had my post-op on Friday, and they were happy with everything. I got my staples out, so my back doesn't look like a zipper as much anymore, but still have quite the incision back there, about a foot-long incision where they went in and did a bunch of stuff. So, but
Yeah.
I'm up and moving around, and I was limited to lifting 5 pounds the last 2 weeks, and they said this week or the next 2 weeks I can go 5 to 10 pounds, and then the next 2 weeks after that, 15 pounds, and keep working my way up. And they said 2 or 3 months maybe, and I'll be kind of back to somewhat normal. So, which is kind of why I decided to do it around this time, because I don't usually get out fishing quite as much. I still usually do fish during this time of year, but not as much. So I figured if there was some time to miss, now would be the time. So it doesn't make it any easier when I still look at Facebook posts and see people out there catching them, but it'll be all right. I will be back in the mix here before too long. So
Yeah, well, you picked a good time because it's been freaking cold. Really cold. So I mean, you went right after tournament season ended, and you'll have all that time to recover for next year. So
Yep.
Sean, we wish you the best in your recovery, and we also want to hope that everyone had a great Thanksgiving holiday.
Definitely. I saw a bunch of people
safe
were
holiday.
got out even on the holiday and had some time on the water. So that was cool. And time with family. So I
Yeah.
was happy. Initially, they had told me, they didn't really want me even riding in a car anywhere, but I I snuck out a little bit on Thursday and got to see some family, so I was happy about that.
Nice. Good deal. Yeah, I spent a lot of time with my family the last 4 days, so I was really happy about that. Kind of catching up from all the tournaments that I fished. I was away from the family pretty much almost the whole summer, so
What's
I
up,
didn't really
Randy?
get to do much with the family. Yep.
Yeah,
There's
that
Randy
it
from
did.
Undercover Baits.
When you fish the tournaments, as many tournaments, especially, I mean, you fished way more than I did, and that definitely does pull you away a little bit. So
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I fished MAKBF almost the whole season. I missed maybe I think the Delaware Ponds one, and then I fished the KA trail, the Kayak Anglers of Central PA, and then I did some, that local ones like the uh, Kayak Adventure Series, the Power Hour, all them big trails that are coming through. Did all
mhm.
that stuff. So kind of neglected the wife a little bit this summer. She likes to get out fishing too, and I didn't really get out with her much, but she knows how much I love tournament fishing, so she deals with it.
She's supportive. That's cool. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so we wanted to have an episode. Me and Sean were both in kind of this state of our lives where we want to, buy another kayak. So we wanted to come on here and talk about a little bit because there's so many choices out there. The certain kayaks that we're choosing and why for what trails we fish and how you guys could benefit from listening as far as if you're in the market to buy your next kayak. But before we do that, why don't we go ahead and do the river levels today, Sean?
Okay. We'll start off with Lewisburg, and it looks like Lewisburg just got a rise, and it's getting to be that time of year where everything will probably start coming up some,
Yep.
Especially as we get more precipitation, and eventually even the ice will start making things come up too as it gets cold enough. So, but it looks like Lewisburg definitely had a rise. And
And then
next, go ahead. Yep, good job.
yeah, I tried to click it. I don't know what the heck's going on here.
There you go. Now it's up. So there's Harrisburg.
go.
Harrisburg also is
Harrisburg. Yep.
looking at a rise.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yep. So again, as hopefully, people are able to get out and fish the rise. I know, wind and cold has not been as friendly to everyone, but I've seen people out catching, like people posting on Facebook and stuff. So they're definitely still eating. So next we'll jump over to Towanda. And if it'll go, oh, yep, there we go. And again, had a rise. That's starting to on its way back down, but definitely higher than we've seen it, obviously. And so seems like I trend across the board. We'll check Marietta and just check, but I'm guessing that's probably going to be, Marietta's a little bit all over the map there. Some falls and rises, and looks like it's on its way back up now. So a little bit. I haven't even been out driving, so I can't even tell you what it looks like. So, but by the graph, it looks like it's on its way back up a little bit. So,
yeah, temps. Matthew, I think so. They're probably sitting somewhere 38, 40 right now. The water temp.
I was
Maybe
curious
a little higher
about
than
that too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since
Definitely.
I've been out, but
Definitely getting
I know,
into your hair jig season and your your blade bait season and that kind of thing. It's probably time to start busting those guys out if you can.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I know there's a lot of people out there that this is their favorite time of the year to fish. Just be safe about it, guys. Wear your dry suits, especially now. It almost feels like we went from summer to winter, but be smart about it. And if you're going to go out, try to find a buddy to go out with. Don't go out yourself. And if you do go out yourself, just let somebody know where you're at. That way, if something does happen, they have somewhere to start, Not that we want to see that happen.
Jeff Little was the first person who taught me the rule of 120. So the way the rule of 120 works is if the air temperature and the water temperature doesn't add up to 120 degrees, you need to be wearing some kind of thermal protection, whether that's a dry suit or bare minimum a wetsuit. A wetsuit is still dangerous though, because that traps the water against your body and your body has to heat it up. So dry suit ultimately is your best defense against hypothermia. But if you're, like I said, if the air temperature and water temperature doesn't add up to 120 and you fall in, you are at risk of hypothermia. So just keep that in mind. It's a simple rule to remember. If you're out on the water this time of year, it's mandatory to wear a PFD now for any watercraft. So you definitely need a PFD, but you almost definitely need some kind of cold water protection as well, because it can get bad real quick. So keep that in mind, guys.
Yeah, and the going back to the PFD, Sean, you should always wear it, even when it's 99 degrees outside.
Oh, definitely. I definitely do, but it is actually the law. I think I forget what the date is, but it is now mandatory. It's not even a question whether you should or shouldn't. You need to, or by law in Pennsylvania anyway. For those of you outside PA, check your local regulations. But
Yep. I think it's May 1st till November 1st. That's the law, but be smart about it, guys. Me and Sean both wear our PFDs every time we go out there, no matter what the temperature is. You never know. You slip and fall, hit your head on a rock. Something's going to keep you afloat.
Yep.
So
we just want everybody to get home safe at the end of the day. So, yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right, now we'll get into our there are some guys that did send some fishing this week, so we'll get into our Chegan brand photos of the week, starting with Alex Goby. Alex Goby with a nice fish, and looks like he's also wearing a dry suit. So good job, Alex. Thanks for sending that in.
Yep, I'm glad to see people are still out there. I mean, that makes me happy. There we have Don Worley, also with a heck of a big smallmouth. It looks like that's a nice fish, and you can tell he has some cold weather gear on. He's on a boat there, but still he has some cold weather gear on. So definitely good.
He also is wearing a PFD. He has an inflatable one there around him. All right, well then next we have George Samper II with a tank of a fish. This is a two-parter. This is the other photo of his fish on a board.
Okay.
See if I can get it to come up. And it's a 21-incher.
Nice.
That's a nice fish for this time of year, man. That's great.
I've heard that the size right now is definitely out there. People are catching nice ones. I liked his hat too. He was wearing a Chegan hat.
Yeah. I'll go back to his he's supporting the brand.
Yep.
For sure.
All right. And then
thanks for sending that in.
Lisa Lake Fishing also sent us in this picture of fish looks like it's been eaten good.
Oh yeah. Another nice fish.
Yeah. Look at the belly.
I think I know where that's at.
Yeah.
I think I might know where that's at. It's close to our winter hole down there.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sending
Maybe.
that in.
Yeah, thank you for sending that in. And next is Nick Myers with a nice, healthy-looking smallmouth.
Yeah. What's the size? Can you read it? I can't. My eyes aren't that good.
16-incher.
Hey,
That's a nice tournament fish there.
heck yeah. And then last, to finish out our photos of the week, we have Buddy Long with not exactly a smallmouth, but still a very pretty trout. So, hey, a catch is a catch at this time of year. And to
Heck
get,
yeah.
I don't know how much stocking they do right now, but that looks like a pretty healthy fish for being this deep into the trout season. So nice
Well,
fish, Buddy. Thanks for sending.
I think he was saying that this time now is like a really good time to be trout fishing too, and that's why he sent that photo in.
Okay.
But yeah, we appreciate everyone sending them photos in. I know it was like kind of last minute. I did a post yesterday, I think it was, and we had some people see it and want to share their catches. So we appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, keep them coming. As long as you guys are out there and fishing and catching, keep sending them in, and we'll keep showing them off for you guys because we love seeing you guys be successful out on the water.
Yeah.
Michael Bradley said in New York, anything under 21 feet. So that makes sense.
I guess that means for life jackets.
Yeah, for PFDs. Yep.
Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, let's get right into it, Sean. So I know I have a really good kayak, Sean, and I love it. It has a Torpedo on the back, a Torpedo Travel. The kayak it does everything I need it to do. But we fish a trail that doesn't allow motors, and it's human powered only, paddle, pedal, no motors. And this past year, me paddling my bona fide PWR, which is not a bad boat to paddle. It's actually pretty good, but when you get out there and you're fishing for 8 hours during a tournament and it starts getting windy and you're paddling instead of fishing, it takes your fishing time away from you. You're paddling more than, well, I shouldn't say you're paddling more than you're fishing, but you're not fishing enough. You keep your line in the water, the more chance you're going to have of getting a fish, right? So this past year, I did talk to Sean about it, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to buy another kayak, man. I'm going to buy something I can pedal, just because it'll give me a better chance to catch more fish during these events, because I'm spending a lot of time with my paddle on my lap. I'm paddling. I can't fish at the same time. Readjusting my position to get a better, position on the fish or whatnot, and then to throw in the wind. Once it starts getting windy, forget about it. We had an event on what was that lake, Sean? Last event.
The last event was Pincho.
Pincho, yes, my favorite lake. But we had an event. The day started off nice, and then I wanted to say like halfway through the event, it started getting really windy, and I was really having a hard time keeping my kayak in different positions to fish where I wanted to fish. And I think that event really pushed me over the edge to say, you know what, I'm going to keep my PWR for all the tournaments that allow motors, because I love that kayak, but it's just not the kayak for me for kayak anglers. And I talked to the wife, and I think I'm going to go ahead this spring and buy a pedal kayak. I'm not exactly sure which one yet. I'm kind of pushing towards the Lynx, the Hobie Lynx, but then I'm also pushing towards a pro angler type of kayak. And I know, Sean, you have fished out of a Hobie for years with the pedals, and you also had a motor on it. So you went and bought a Innovative Sportsman inflatable.
Yep. I have the Osprey 12-footer, and I really there's definitely things I love about that kayak, and maybe I don't know if I haven't given it enough time. If Jeff Little's listening, he preaches that kayak like religiously. I went and took a class with Jeff, which was awesome, and he did teach some good paddling instruction and how to correctly approach fishing and stuff. So uh, you know I will give it some more time, but I am also leaning towards switching. My main thing when I transitioned from the Hobie Outback to the Osprey was just getting used to having a paddle in my lap again and needing to use the paddle for minute corrections. Whereas in the Outback, I could, just do a couple pedal strokes and it would, change my direction. So I'm actually in the spring going to look at selling the Osprey and probably going to get the Hobie iTrek Angler 10-footer that's coming out. It's very similar to the iTrek that's out now, but it supposedly has a little bit thicker reinforcements in some places to get past some of the puncturing that had been seen in the iTrek. And they're asking, or Matthew is asking, how standing in the Osprey. The Osprey is by far and away the most stable kayak I've ever been on. I can stand and walk from one end to the other on that kayak without an issue. I can stand on one side of the gunnel, and I really think you would have to. I mean, there are videos out there of people flipping it, but you basically have to lean the whole way to one side and pull on the opposite side to get it to roll. I mean, it is work to get it to flip, and it is by far. I have been in PA 360s, like the big pro anglers, and those are also super stable. But I'd say that the Osprey is even more stabler than the pro angler. I've heard of people flipping pro anglers. My old podcast co-host Susie, when I was back on Paddle and Fin on the Noob Show, she flipped her pro angler, so I know it can be done. But I've never heard of anybody flipping. Yeah, like he's saying, like Fishing CPA is saying, it is almost impossible to flip. You literally have to be trying to flip it. But like I said,
Sean's not saying the Osprey's a bad kayak. That's why he's getting rid of it. He's just saying that for what he came from Hobie, so it's hard for him to like make them minute adjustments without just kicking his feet. He's just not used to it. So yeah.
So I'm gonna look to get the Hobie iTrek, which is it is very similar to the Osprey. It's a little shorter. I think it's actually I guess there is a 12-foot version. The only difference is going to be basically is the it'll have pedals. So no, they say no water in or on the kayak ever. Also, I had some water on my Osprey when I had it out in some pretty heavy waves. But it does drain very well for being an inflatable kayak, which it's kind of impressive. But yeah, that's the only reason that I am looking to change, is that I just want, and it might be a limitation on the motor that I have. On that kayak, I run a Newport Vessels NK 180 Pro, and if I just want to use my foot control steering to make minute corrections, it's so hard to get that motor on slow enough so that I'm not moving forward as faster than I want to be. It's really hard to kind of the idle speed, even at like the slowest speed, is almost too fast. Whereas with the pedals, you can really like tune in how slowly you're creeping forward. And so that's my main reason for switching. Throw a little sales pitch out there. I am more than likely going to be selling my Osprey. So if anybody's in the market, hit me up in my messages and we can talk about that. I do potentially have someone who was interested. So, just if anybody else is interested, let me know. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I've heard about kayaks as well. I don't know much about the company. It did look like they had some interesting things. I've also have been thinking about the FlexJet. We're going to try and have the FlexJet kayak guy on. He's just really booked up through the middle of December, but sometime mid-December we should be able to have him on, because that FlexJet really is intriguing to me as well. Basically a jet powered kayak that can, you're not going to bottom out the motor because the motor is in the kayak, and it can go through grass and all sorts of stuff without issues, supposedly. So, that's definitely something I'm also going to check out. But like I said, I'm heavily kind of thinking about the iTrek. So
yeah. As I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Blue Mountain Outfitters is going to be selling the FluxJet as soon as they start coming out. So I think they do like some on the water day throughout the summer, something like that, where you could actually go there and test it out on the river if you'd like.
I think that could be really cool, good for the Susquehanna River. My only concern with that is it's a brand new hull design, and I just don't know how much that particular company knows about hull design. So that's why I would look forward to asking the designer, about that, because hull design means a lot, especially on a river boat.
That's what Matthew Weimer saying right here. He said he likes the idea of the FluxJet, but the kayak itself could use a little work, which I agree.
Yeah, it's definitely. You can tell it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying the hull looks clunky, and I agree.
Yeah.
But for being a first gen, that might come in. I mean, because when you talk about Drew Gregory has so much. He did a lot of the designs of the Jackson kayaks. Like I had the Kusa that he had a lot of input into the whole design on that, and he worked heavily with Crescent as well on like the Sholey and those, and so their whole designs are built around being a river boat, and you can really tell when you have it out there.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and maybe that's something, for future models, they can pull in somebody who does have a little bit more experience with hull design. But it might be, acceptable too. Like I said, I don't know much about it. I'm just going off of what I've seen and comparing it to the hulls that I know that I've paddled that work really good on the river. So,
yeah. So, like I was talking about earlier, the kayak anglers trail that we fish is human powered only. So we're not trying to down any of the kayaks that we're talking about at all. All the kayaks that I've been in, and I'm sure all the kayaks, Sean could agree with me. All the kayaks he had too are amazing vessels. But for me, maybe not so much Sean, because I know he has still has the Hobie Outback for the human powered part of it. But can you put a motor on that new Hobie inflatable, Sean?
Yes, and that's another reason why it has the four hole pattern for motors on the back. So that is another reason that the iTrek potentially could be an all around boat for me. That's what
maybe you're selling an Outback too. You might be selling your Outback too.
Yeah,
But
I thought about that, but I kind of want to keep. I like the idea of having 2 kayaks. That way, if a buddy of mine wants to go out with me, we can. So
yeah, what's this one here? We got another. Where is it? I don't know why. For some reason, my clicker ain't working
here,
right here.
I can do it here. He's saying you can run a
There,
60-volt
there it
battery
is.
on. Yeah, yeah. You with the flux jet.
Yeah.
Oh, it's still
Ooh,
going to bottom out. I would rather see
sorry,
it.
I didn't mean to.
Oh, you're good. You're good. See a jet rear motor come out. Well, the flux jet does have a rear. The flux kayak, it does have a jet built in the rear. So, but you're maybe he's saying just a jet that attaches to the back of the kayak.
Oh yeah,
Because I
that'd be
don't
sweet.
think that the flux jet can bottom out other than the whole bottoming out, because it is the jet is flush with the bottom of the kayak. When they flip it over, it is literally flush with the bottom of the kayak. It doesn't stick out any lower than the hull. So
Yeah,
but
I wonder what the how far down that hull sits.
like what the draft is. Yeah, I'm curious about
Yeah,
that too. Like I know
we
on
didn't
a
really
normal
know.
roto-motored kayak, they usually draft like 6 inches or so, whereas the
Yeah,
inflatables draft like 2 inches. Yeah, yep, there you go.
yeah,
Yep, it's funny.
yeah.
We're thinking along the
6
same lines
inches.
here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might as well be typing these comments myself.
Yeah.
But when you're choosing a kayak, it's weird. Way back, Devin at back before I'm drawing a blank. The place in Wrightsville closed. I talked to Devin about the kayaks that I was buying, and one of his lines that he always uses was buy your second kayak first. And I didn't understand what he meant about that until I made the mistake of not doing that. I went out and bought my very first kayak was a Wilderness Systems Tarpon 100, and it was a little 10-foot Wilderness Systems. It got me out on the water, but it was very narrow. I think it was like 27 inches wide, and so it was pretty easily, like, I flipped it. So and when I did that, I was like, okay, I need something bigger, and I also wanted something longer, because a 10-foot kayak, while it's good for small water, when you're out on big water, it'll turn you. It tends to, as you paddle, it tends to want to wander. So the longer kayak you have, the better speed you have, which it's kind of counterintuitive, but it's definitely true. When I took my paddling class there at why am I drawing a blank on the name of that place?
You're talking about the place that closed down there
Yeah,
by
Long Level. Yeah, I'm just
Long
drawing
Level.
a blank.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
I
can't think
when
of the
I
name either.
way back in the day, I took a paddling class there just to learn basic paddling strokes and stuff, and we had a bunch of people in class, so I ended up with a 16-foot kayak. Like, it wasn't a fishing kayak.
Shanks Mare.
Yes, thank you,
Yep.
Shanks Mare. And
Thanks there, undercover man.
yeah, might too. And
Shanks
man,
Mare.
now I feel so dumb for not remembering that. But so I remember when I took that paddling class, and I was probably one of the younger guys in the class, and he's like, Devin told me, he's like, I'm going to give you this 16-footer. He's like, it's going to turn like a Cadillac, but you're going to be able to outrun anybody else on the water. And he was right. Like, turning it was a bear, but man, when you're going straight, the longer the kayak you are, the faster you're going to go. And that taught me a lot about kayak length and speed, for sure.
Yeah.
But when you're
I
out,
bought my first kayak from there too.
yeah.
Yeah. My
What was your first kayak?
Bonafide SS. My
Okay.
first kayak I bought from I was talking like my first real kayak, but my first kayak was from a Tractor Supply. Tractor Supply.
Okay.
It was like $400, and I flipped it like 4 times in a river. And I'm like, you know what? This kayak sucks. It's not doing what I want it to do. It sucked to paddle. It was probably 13 some foot long. Very hard kayak to learn on. And then I went to Shanksmere and I bought a Bonafide SS-127. And I
I'm
was
sure that
mainly
was a
lake
night of
fishing
day
at the
difference. Yeah.
time. So I put on Oh yeah. I could stand up in this thing. The one from Tractor Supply I couldn't stand up in. But I could do a lot with this. I put a XI3 on the front because I was mainly fishing lakes. It was a really good lake boat, except for when the wind blew, because it didn't have a skag or anything like that. So my ass end would always blow around.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I got into river fishing, and I was like, this is not the right boat for river fishing. I fished it for like a year on the river, and I'm like, I got to get a stern mount motor. And then here we are another year later, 2 years later, I got perfect river boat for what I needed to do. And now I'm thinking like, man, it'd be really nice to have a pedal kayak for some of the trails that we fish that are human powered only. So now I'm spending more money on another kayak, which
and
the wife's not too happy about it, but
you talked about having, 2 different boats, one for the human powered tournaments and one for the powered ones. But another thing that I know a bunch of people who have 2 boats because they want a river boat and a lake boat. Because
absolutely,
fishing on lakes is drastically different than fishing moving water a lot of times. Now, especially when you get into like the huge lakes like Lake Erie and stuff, that's a whole different story. But when you're just on a normal lake and not dealing with current as much, there is a huge difference between something like a Coosa or a Shoaly and like a PA. Not that PAs are bad in the river, because I know tons of people who fish the river in PAs, but I think was designed to be a lake boat above anything else. But so that's just another thing to consider when you're thinking about what kayak you want to get, is the type of water that you're going to be fishing, because there are big differences between fishing lakes and rivers. And then also where are you going to be fishing? Are you going to be fishing remote spots where you're going to want to carry in or drag in, versus some places where you can just back down a ramp and put in there? Because the PA is awesome for stability and everything, but it is also a beast to move around. That was the main reason why I didn't get a PA and I went with the Outback, is because I knew I'm not the biggest guy, and I knew I wouldn't be able to handle that very efficiently. The PA is a heavy boat.
Well, for some people that could afford it, you could just trailer it and wet launch your PA off of a trailer. Like there's a lot of people that we know that do that stuff, but it's your budget, what you can afford. I would say before you go out and buy a kayak, I would say at least try a couple different ones to see what like Randy was saying here in the comments. He said find something that is comfortable. That's a big deal.
Yes,
comfort's huge, because you're spending so many hours out on the water, especially if you're doing tournaments and stuff like that. You want to have a comfortable kayak, but you also want to think about, like Sean said, what kind of water are you going to be fishing? And they're going to ask you these kind of questions at the stores. I would hope that they would ask these questions at the stores that sell the kayaks. And then they'll try to like point you in the right direction as far as if you're fishing lakes or rivers.
Right. And like Carla said, definitely take advantage of demo days, because uh, I actually drove to Delaware Paddle Sports to test the Outback before I bought it because the only place local that had them was Lancaster County Marine, and they sit it up on a rack and let you sit on it and sit in it to kind of feel what it feels like. But they didn't offer any kind of test paddling, so I actually drove down to Delaware so that I could test paddle it. But I
That was smart.
and
That was a smart thing to do.
it really and it made a difference because it made me comfortable with my purchase, because I didn't want to. When I bought the Tarpon 100, I mail ordered it, so I had never even paddled it before I was in it, and so I
Yeah.
didn't want to make that same mistake again. And so what's
Steve's asking, I am looking for RVR 119 with an NK 300 for the Susquehanna. Any thoughts? Oh, that's a hell of a setup. That's a hell of a
Yeah.
setup for the Susquehanna.
The RVR is a great boat for the river. Again, that's designed for moving water, and NK300 is a heavy motor, but it's definitely going to get you up any rapids that you can make it through as
Yeah.
long as it's deep enough. I don't think
Yeah.
it's definitely going to move that kayak. It sounds like a pretty good combination in my book.
Yeah, our buddy Mickey Forbes, he ran that setup for a while and he was digging it.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Sean, we're about that time. It's time to take a commercial. We'll come back.
Yep.
right after
Catch you guys
these
on the flip side.
fine words.
And speaking of Railblades, I wanted to give them a quick shout out because they sent us some more cool stuff to play with, and just because I haven't actually even been able to get out to my garage much in the past 2 weeks, I haven't been able to actually make a video about it. But they sent us a phone holster that is pretty freaking rock solid. I mean, it is sturdy, and it's going to lock your phone in there. Like, you're not going to worry about losing it. So I am going to be getting a video made here shortly to show you guys that, because it is rock solid. I've had a couple different phone holsters on my kayak before, and that one feels far and away the best built one. It is super rock solid, and it's super customizable. It comes with all sorts of adjustments, and a quick little flip of a switch to make it actually grab onto your phone and let go. So it's not, I've had the kind with like the rubber kind of knobby things on it, and I always had trouble with those rubber knobbies coming off and stuff. So look forward to that. But thanks to Railblazer for letting us try that out. And the snips too. I got a cool pair of snips that might replace my boomerang snips as my go-to snips. I've for the probably past 5 years, I've used boomerang snips primarily as my snips on my PFD, but Railblazer has a cool little pair of snips that seems to be pretty nice. So look for videos coming from me on those shortly.
Yeah, I've been rocking my phone holder in my car actually. That thing's solid, man.
Yeah, I saw that picture. That I like the way you had that rigged out. I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, you just take that suction cup. I stuck it on there once, and I've been driving my car, and ever since it's not gonna fall. It's stuck on the window for good. But I am gonna use that thing. I just got another portable charger station for my other camera, so I will be using that to hold my portable charger on my kayak to run my second camera angle. So that'll be cool.
Very cool.
And
That's a good use for that too. Yeah.
yeah, those snips right now, I think if you spend $25 or more on Railblaze's website, you get a free pair of snips, and they cut like butter through braids. So they're awesome, awesome snips.
That's one of the things. Since I had 2 weeks where I basically was just sitting on my butt, I did teach myself a version of the Alberto knot now that I can tie very efficiently. So I was playing with those snips a lot. But yeah, I learned a very quick Alberto knot that's easier to tie than the one that I had been tying. So I was kind of excited to do that. I just sat for like probably 2 days and tied it once every 5 minutes until I had it down. And now I actually think I'm going to probably use that more than a double uni for my leader knots. So
Really?
yeah, I'll have to show it to
stronger.
you. I don't know if it's stronger, but it's thinner. It's going to go through my guides easier. Yep.
Thinner than the Alberto, the crazy Alberto knot?
I don't know if it's thinner than the crazy Alberto, but it's definitely thinner than a double uni. So
okay.
Okay. So, but
so
yeah.
I have a question real quick. I want to ask because I'm looking for next year for a pedal kayak, right? I want to take a little poll on the 19 people we have watching right now. If anyone owns one of these two kayaks, let me know. Hobie Pro Angler 12 or Hobie Pro Angler 14 for the river. I've heard mixed emotions about this. See if anybody chimes in.
I've heard some different things too.
Yeah. And I'm looking for the 360 XR, the newest one.
What's XR
so I don't
get
know
you?
If that's gonna...
Do you know what's the difference?
Maybe some extra reverse. I don't know. No, I do know that they have the holes for power poles already in the back there, so you don't have to get that extra plate to set up on there. The holes and the mounts are already there for that. And I'm sure there's another thing that's with the pedals. Something with the pedals is different. The locking
I know that they really worked on the 360 drive because I know the very first early versions of those had some issues. I was down at Dale Hollow fishing with the Pal and Finn boys, one of our tournaments down there, and some poor guy came in with his 360 drive. It basically exploded. It was like in a million pieces, and he was trying to put it back together. And I had heard a couple of horror stories like that, but I think that they really worked through those initial problems because I haven't heard it as much with the later 360 drives. So, but I will never forget that guy coming in and plopping that pile of parts on the table that used to be his drive, and we were like, "Oh my goodness, that must suck."
Yeah, that's not a good problem to have. That's for sure. I did want to show these off. Got new stickers, 5-inch stickers. I'm gonna save them for the show. Where's that show at, Sean?
It's Red Lion. It's the Red Lion Fishing Show. So we're gonna have a little booth there for kayak anglers, and
yeah, we'll be handing these out there.
So if you're in the neighborhood, I forget what the dates are for that. We'll get those by the next show, but we'll definitely be there. And I'm looking forward to going to a couple of the other shows not that we'll have a table there, but I'm definitely going to go to the Monahan or however you say that, Monahan. I always say Monahan, but I don't know if that's the right one. Just go. I will be up there when they have that. Sweet. Oh, yeah. Randy. Good. Randy will be there.
Your buddy Randy will be there. Yep. So you guys want to check out some of the undercover baits. He's one of our partners for the show. His baits are freaking awesome. Come to all the local shows here on the Susquehanna. He probably does just about every one of them. And
he's a busy
just
guy.
a great guy. He makes awesome baits. And
they
his
work
baits
too.
work, believe me.
Yes. I got to play with them for the I've had the Helgramites for a long time, but I got to play with the fluke style baits just the last time I went out with Carlisle and Randy, and so they made me a believer.
Larry.
Yes, Larry was
Yep.
there as well. So
and they're break the bank either buying his baits. You're not going to break the bank, that's for sure.
Mike's saying
Take
January
advantage of the
17th for the Red
discount
Lion
code.
show. So
yeah, that's the thing. If you are looking for some baits from undercover, take advantage of the discount code. It's going to be till the end of this year, and then we're going to probably drop it down to maybe 10 or 15%. Right now it's at, what is it at? 20%?
I was going to say, I thought it was 20.
We have a 20% code. Yeah. So take advantage of that throughout the month of December. You know, some fishes, hook them up.
And Randy is also saying that that was a new color that we were throwing that day. So yeah, we got to try it out, and it was definitely working. So, and I believe he, I think I just saw on the his Black Friday stuff that he has that color out now. So if you guys want to check out that color, he has it out for sale now. So I believe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're supposed to mention it or not. The name of the
I think I saw on his page that he was saying it. He can correct me or if I'm wrong, but I won't say what color it is, but it was working. And I think if you go to his page now, I think it's out there. Yep, that's right. He was saying
he was giving a free pack out with every order
of the new color. I thought I saw something about that. So yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, so go over there and check out what he's got. He's got a ton of stuff on his website. Support the brand that we support, and he supports us too. It helps out. Not only that, guys, if you want to support us a little more, if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It helps us a ton. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We are kind of close, but hoping to get there by next spring. So go ahead and give us a little subscribe up there.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Back to the kayaks. I haven't seen anybody talk about the Hobie Pro Angler, but I know I talked to two different people that are well-known kayak anglers. One was Josh Sims, and the other one, man, I just had a brain fart. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But two very seasoned kayak anglers. One told me that if I do get one, go with the 12, and then the other one said if I do get one, do not buy the 12.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So,
was it a speed thing or a space thing, or what was the reasoning?
The one that said do not buy the 12 was more of like a handling thing in the river. So I'm not sure what to do. I might just go with the Lynx and just use that, because we do have a lot of shallow water in the summertime. The Lynx.
I know when we had Christine Fisher and one of the brothers. Why am I drawing a blank?
Ewing Minor.
Yeah, they both run Lynxes. I had heard that the Lynx wasn't as great for the Susky because of it cracking, but they were saying you throw a little JB weld on it and it's good as new. So
you just be careful too. Make sure you don't hit a rock.
Yeah,
I mean it's kind of hard to do sometimes on a Susky,
but that's almost
in shallow
an
water conditions. It's not that hard to stay away from them rocks.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think I would take that out in a KA tournament if the river levels were over 5 foot, because then you're talking like not just I'm sure the Lynx is stable enough for that kind of level, but I think at that point I'd just be doing a float and just paddle.
Yeah.
You know.
When it's really ripping, and when we do those KA tournaments, we do take a look at the flow rates, because there does get to be a point where it's not super safe, and we will draw a line if it's super crazy. We've had to do that a
Yeah.
few times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking that too. Like way back in the day, I actually at Shanks Mare, I pedaled the Jackson, they had like a huge one. It was like almost like a platform. And it was weird because I thought that thing would be super hard to pedal and move around, but it really wasn't. It was a very well designed thing, and it also was like the wind just didn't move it. I don't know why, but I remember I was on Lake Redmond one time in my Outback, and I was getting blown all over the place, and I was so frustrated. And a guy had one of those. I'm trying to think of what the name of that was. I know it was made by Jackson, and it was huge. But no, it wasn't. It was oh, I'd have to Google it.
Yeah.
But I paddled over to him. I'm like, man, are you anchoring? And he's like, no, it's just this thing just doesn't blow around in the wind a lot.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
What was that
I
called?
can't think of the name of it.
I'm
But,
trying.
oh
to
yeah,
Google
the
it.
other guy that I was talking to about the PAs was Jordan Welliver, and he's the one that told me to stay away from the 14 and go with the 12.
Huh.
So
Oh,
I
the
have
Blue Sky is the big kayak that I was talking about with Jackson. Do you remember that?
isn't the Blue Sky like a it almost looks like a sailboat. It has the two.
It has like pontoon. I'm not like here. I'll share my screen here. Let's see. Let me go back to I'll just share screen. Blue Sky. So that was the Blue Sky, and
Catamaran. The catamaran, yeah.
Okay. But I pedaled one of these at Shanksmere Demo Day, and I was amazed at actually how well it pedaled. Like I saw people have like it totally rigged out with like a motor on the back of each of these catamarans on the back, but the one I had just had a pedal drive, and I was surprised how well it actually did. It was a cool boat.
Here's a question. Any plans for Undercover Baits to offer merch, hats, t-shirts, etc.?
He does have a really cool logo.
He does. Randy, what do you think?
The people want merch.
The people want merch. Yeah. So like we were talking about, if this is your first kayak, you definitely want to test things out. But we have, I don't know how many years experience you have, Sean, kayak fishing.
Probably 7 or 8 now.
Yeah,
at least.
2016
is when I started, so actually 9, I would say.
Yeah, and I have about 5 or 6 right now. My best advice to you is try to find a place where you can test them out. If you're going to spend that kind of money, you're not going to be happy with a $400 kayak just because it's cheap. You want to get out on the water. I understand that. But if you have the money to, throw down on a decent kayak, at least go out and test them out. I would say that's the best advice I could give you. Make sure it's comfortable. Make sure it's the kind of kayak you want for the kind of water you're fishing. Randy's saying he has some
merch.
He has some merch. Get more made. I'm going to try to get that going in 2026. Yeah, so there you go, Michael Bradley. He's going to get that going in 2026. What kind of advice do you have, Sean?
I'd say the same thing. Definitely get out and try it if you can. And if any of you guys are interested in trying any of the kayaks that I have, hit me up. If you're in our area here in South Central PA, I will meet you at the water sometime. And right now I have a little bit of trouble. I can't really lift my kayak into my boat truck to get it out there, but in the spring, I would be happy to let anybody try either the Osprey or the Outback if you're interested in seeing one. I was talking to Carlisle a little bit about this. The difference between the Hobie pedaling system and like an Old Town. When you pedal a Hobie, you're pedaling straight forward and back. And when you pedal either a Jackson or I think Newport and Old Town, they're cyclical, almost like you're pedaling a bicycle. And I actually, when at another one of those tournaments down at Dale Hollow with the paddle and fin guys, I flew down, so I didn't have my kayak. So I actually used somebody's Old Town pedal kayak, and I hated that pedal drive. So if you're at all interested in getting either a pedal drive or an Old Town or an Outback or a Hobie style drive, I would pedal both and see which ones you like better, because I did not like the cyclical drive of the Old Town. I had tried one on I had tested one on the Jackson. It was on the Blue Sky and on the I had test paddled I think a Kusa that had a pedal one. I forget what Jackson's first pedal one was, but I definitely, for whatever it's worth, I did not like the Old Town one. I felt like it wasn't as efficient as the Hobie one. I felt like it didn't do as well in grass. I was constantly pulling it up and pulling the grass out and putting it back down. So just another thing.
Yeah, don't let it discourage you if it's not in your budget. I mean, you still can get out and fish with a paddle kayak.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just, for me, it's what I need to be a better competitor, I think, to keep my line in the water more than paddling.
But I mean, if you're close, if you're looking at budget wise and say, oh, right now I can afford a Sun Dolphin from Dick's or Tractor Supply, but if I save for a couple months, maybe I can get into a Crescent, one of the lower end Crescents. I'd almost say save and go for that, because it is going to be there is a huge difference. Now obviously, like the Hobies and some of those other ones, it's a pretty big price jump. But I think like New Canoe has some pretty budget friendly ones, and it's not quite as drastic as a jump.
Matthew Weimer.
Oh yeah, that, and Michael Bradley makes a good point too. Don't shy away from the used market. Like, check out Craigslist or those kind of things. You obviously want to go and take a look at the kayak, make sure it doesn't have any holes or cracks in the hull or anything weird like that. But you definitely can save that way too. That's an excellent point.
Here's the thing, Matthew Weimer. Bring his comment up there, Sean.
Okay.
You can't win a kayak tournament from a boat. Wink, wink, wink. But yeah, hey, if you can afford it, if it's in your budget, but we don't win kayak tournaments on a jet boat.
Someday down the road, I would love to have one, but
we aren't just a kayak fishing show. I mean,
right.
We don't want to make it seem like that, but I mean, that's what me and Sean do, and it's what we love to do. Allegedly, yeah.
So, but yeah, I like I said, boats. I can't speak intelligently about boats at all, because that I'm not there yet. We definitely know people and can put you in touch with people who, if you want to talk about jet boats and that kind of thing, who have way more knowledge than I do. But kayak speaking, if you guys have any questions about kayaks, I do. I mean, both Carlisle and I have been in a lot of boats and tried a lot of boats. So
Yeah.
I feel like we both can speak pretty intelligently about that part. But
Yeah, and if any of the listeners want to try out the Bonafide PWR, I have a Torpedo on the back. I live here close to Susquehanna, in the Mannheim area. If you're close, hit me up. I'll take you out. You could try my kayak. And I also might have a Lynx by the spring too. So if you want to try that out, or a pro angler, we'll see. But yeah, here Randy says he has both, but he prefers the kayak.
that's cool. Yeah.
My wife keeps telling me she wants a boat, but I'm like, I love kayak fishing so much. I don't know if I'd want a boat.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I mean, I have buddies that have boats, and I don't mind going out on them. But I love being close to the water.
Yeah.
I feel like it puts me more in touch with nature versus being on a boat. But
well, not just that. I think you can get in areas with a kayak a lot easier than you can with a boat. There's areas that we fish that we're fishing in like a foot of water. I know some of them boats can, but I mean, they're smashing the shit out of their trolling motor. So
I've talked to quite a few jet boat owners who have done had to have a lot of welding done. So
yeah. Well, guys, we're gonna cut it short tonight because Sean's just recovering from his back surgery, and we don't want him to sit in the chair too much longer. What are we gonna do next podcast, Sean? Is that going to be the FluxJet guy, you think, or is that going to be later on?
He told me I had to reach out to him after December 11th, so I think we'll have another one in between there.
Okay. Well, if you guys have any ideas you want to hear us talk about something in particular, message us, give us a private message on Facebook or wherever you can find us, Chasing the 20 Inchers podcast on Facebook. And we'll try to get certain individuals on, or we'll just talk about certain stuff that we learned over the years.
And just to tease a little bit, sometime before Christmas, we're going to do a pretty good giveaway. I have a pretty cool Megabass package that it's a pretty special one that I got last year that we're going to give away sometime around before Christmas. So keep your eyes and ears out for that. And just to tease that a little bit. So
nice. Well, Sean, man, we wish you the best on your recovery. We want to thank everybody that came out on tonight and stuck through with the whole show. All our regulars, Matthew Weimer, Fishing CPA, Undercover Baits, all you guys. We appreciate you guys watching and commenting throughout the show. Like Ryan Hold, thank you so much for everything you do. Stevens Worthy, all you guys that commented tonight, we appreciate it. It helps us. And don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. That helps us out a lot. And God bless, guys. We appreciate you so much. We'll see you on the next podcast.
Yep. Have a good night, guys. Talk to you later.
Thank you for tuning in to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, for future shows, like, follow, share, and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you check out our individual channels and accounts too. Want to be a guest on one of our shows and talk of adventures, gear, or products? Contact us. Thank you for watching The Noob Show with Matt Gibson, Chasing the Tide with Dustin Nichols, The Rusty Hook with John Rapp, The River Run with Adam Fraser Pross, May Contain Fishing with Daniel Woodcock, Chasing the 20s with Carlisle Esterly and Sean Lavery, Friday Night Bites with Brian Schiller. Thanks for tuning into the Paddle and Fin Network. Subscribe and always wear your PFD.